guys, Justin here from Argonaut Wine and Liquor at Root Shoot Malting with Todd and Hayward. We're just going to talk a little bit about the brand, the whiskey, which is really amazing. And hey Todd, thanks for being here. Hayward, thank you.
Glad to do it.
Why don't you tell me, Todd, about the brand and kind of what got you here?
Well, lots of steps have gotten us here. So first of all, we are a century farm this year. So my family's been on this land for 100 years. The malt house is going to be 10 years old this year.
Wow.
And then the whiskey brand is going to be 3 years old this year, I guess?
3 years in the market.
3 years in the market.
Nice.
But we've been making the whiskey since 2018, so we're going on 8 years.
Nice.
I'm a fifth generation farmer. This all just kind of was a brainchild of mine one day. I was like, I should start a malt house.
And so you have the malt house, you're making grains for other companies up until recently. Well, you still are, but more recently for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main part of the business is really producing grain for other producers, I guess, whether that's either beer or whiskey or bourbon, anything like that. So we work with about 150 different breweries in the state of Colorado.
That's great.
And probably about 15 distilleries. We have a little bit of people that are out of state, but majority of our business is kept in Colorado.
I love that, a Colorado-grown business taking care of Colorado-grown businesses. So Hayward, we're in the malting room. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, this is our malt production facility. We are malting multiple varieties of barley. We're malting wheat, oats, rye. We're even malting corn today as we're here. All of the malt in our single malt whiskey was produced in this malt house by us. And really, this is where we start. This is sort of our R&D child. We make some batches of malt perhaps, and we think, oh, that's going to be lovely whiskey. And we start tinkering with blends, and we're starting here.
That's great.
Yeah.
So recently, you got a little more press. Can you kind of tell us about this big award that you just recently received?
We did. So this April, at the end of the month, I got a phone call. I was actually standing in this room, and the London International Spirits Competition called to let me know before the news dropped that we had won Whiskey of the Year.
That's amazing.
For this bottled and bond 4-year. Yeah, which is great because we have enough of that. Well, enough is a relative word.
Right.
It's going quickly, but
it is selling very quickly.
We have many barrels of age that we can package of this. It will take us some time. So, shelves are running pretty thin right now, but we'll get Colorado back in stock in June.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, let's taste it.
Let's do it.
So this one is. Tell us about the whiskey.
Okay, right. So we've got a 4-year age statement here. This is an American single malt whiskey. So again, 100% malted barley, malted in this room. The bottled and bond requirement is minimum 4 years. It's also a 100 proof requirement. So we're packaged at 100 proof. We got a 4-year age statement. Our malt bill here is inclusive of a few specialty grains. We're using some higher kiln specialty malts that some distillers aren't including.
Right.
Some are.
Yeah.
We don't include any smoked malt. What else? We enter fresh char, American oak here, so we wanted to sort of bring an oak forward profile that maybe some bourbon drinkers could relate to, but still certainly a malt whiskey. This is all about the malt.
It has that mouthfeel that you were speaking of, more of American mouthfeel where it's a little more viscous, obviously from that barrel. There's a lot of chocolate on this. It's
I get
toasty.
A lot of the chocolate's coming from the specialty malts that you mentioned before. So like some really high kiln dark chocolate bitterness kind of went into this, probably at an inclusion rate of about 5%.
That's great.
And then some other Cara Ruby is another malt that's in this, and that has kind of that fruity, almost strawberry flavor.
I get that.
In parts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, early on we're just like, man, these are some great malts. I bet they'll taste great in whiskey. So we just kind of went for it, and luckily it's turned out amazing.
Right. I'm excited to get it back in the store. It's been. Receive it. It's out in a couple days. So you guys really killed it, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
And the next, what is the next one we're going to be trying?
Okay, so also available now. I think you have this one in the store currently.
We do.
Yep, maybe not by the time we hear this.
See.
This was a fun blend for us. So we call this the Homestead Series. This is where we put our high proof expressions. This is also American single malt. One of the things that we are able to do here that we're not able to do with the bottled and bond is to blend across age statements. So we were able to pull some barrels of different ages and bring them together, bring some of those notes together. It's all still fresh char American oak. Note that we're not calling it cask strength, we're calling it high proof. We brought it down to 120. So coming straight out of the barrels, it was a few points higher, and we really felt like it presented just a couple points lower. So we did decide to bring it down just a touch to 120. We made a 5-barrel run.
Yeah.
So this was 3 barrels of a 5-year age statement and 2 barrels at a younger 4-year age statement. Across those 5 barrels, we were experimenting with different grain bills. So we actually distilled 3 different grain bills across those 5 barrels. So this really let us sort of play around a little bit, get outside of the requirements set on us by Bottle and Bond, and bring something that we thought tasted delicious and we might like to share. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Still get the chocolate.
For sure. It's bold, viscous. Hits all sides of your tongue. It's great.
Creeping into orchard fruit, some of those stone fruits. I think there's a little bit of a, I don't know, almost herbal or
on that finish. Yeah. And a little toasty.
Absolutely, lots of wood.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little cinnamon.
Spice profile.
Spice profile. Yeah.
These are great.
They are great.
So Todd, you kind of have a unique way of producing whiskey when it comes to production versus other brands. Can you kind of explain how that goes?
Yeah, well, like I mentioned earlier, that it just really all starts on the farm and in the soil. So, like, I most likely planted whatever grain went into these bottles. So, like, we are truly field to glass because we're controlling everything from the barley variety, where it's planted, how much irrigation, fertilizer, all those things that we're doing before it actually gets harvested. We harvest it ourselves, and we deliver it directly to the grain bins out there. So like within that just little time frame, we're only traveling probably 10 miles.
Wow.
You know? And then from there, it gets malted and then shipped out the door, and it goes about 30 miles down the road to Vapor Distilleries, who we're working with on this project, or Boulder Spirits, whichever brand name you want to use.
Sure.
And those guys are doing an amazing job for us. Their focus is single malt whiskey as well, and so that really gave us a lot of trust in their process and everything. And so we get to choose everything that happens before it actually gets to distill, which really no other producer gets a chance to do that.
That's really
there's
cool.
very few.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you also have a local company that makes these really awesome labels.
Yeah, we work with Todd Niebuhr, or the Niebers, I guess, from Mountain Creative.
Right.
We've been working with those guys on a lot of different things over the years, and they've done a really good job for us. I think they started with T-shirts, honestly, and then just kind of developing that. And then we were just like, hey, can you make a whiskey label?
That's great.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get into it, the label, or actually the actual symbols on there, which is on my shirt, this kind of goes back to just like farming and malting in general. So like this one is just like growing the grain, that's what we do. This one is steeping, so this gets into the malting process of just like wetting the grain in this big old tank. And then germination, which is happening in these drums. And then kilning, which also happens in those drums. So just really explaining the whole process of the malting. And then there's the fifth element, which is spirit, and that's how this gets involved.
In the shape of a still.
Well, Todd and Hayward, thank you so much for inviting us out here. This has been really cool. I really appreciate it, and cheers.
Cheers.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.